Greetings and welcome to this edition of
Positronic.
I'm Barry P. Cook, and I'm here to review the most recent episode of Supergirl, titled Phantom Menaces. So called, of course, because Kara is still trapped in the Phantom Zone, and the folks back on Earth are having to deal with an escaped Phantom. It starts out with Kara's escape plan not working out. She doesn't end up getting out of the Phantom Zone using the plan that she had envisioned. So that's not good. But she does meet someone who turns out to be an ally, so we'll get to that. But the Phantom that is on the run has been menacing people and changing them into Phantoms, and they got to Silas and attacked him, which is not good, but the team manages to save him. Meanwhile, Alex is really down in the mouth and upset that Kara is gone and that she can't seem to help bring her back properly, or she can't get her back. And so she's sitting and watching the holographic will that Kara had recorded when she was going to go up against Luthor, and that was a major bummer. But she sort of moves past it. Then we get a scene where Lex basically, I guess he's threatening Lena that if she doesn't let him back into his accounts and everything because she hacked into them and blocked him out, he's going to get her investigated for the stuff she did recently that wasn't so on the up and up. And he says he did it by getting the DA to issue a court order. Of course, DAs don't do that, judges do, but that's okay. But anyway, I just wrote down fuck Lex because he's a jerk. But back in the Phantom Zone, Kara is finding out more about her new friend. And her new friend apparently is from the fifth dimension. She's a fifth dimensional imp, just like Mxyzptlk. And when Kara discloses that she knows him, the lady goes, "You know Mixie?" And I knew she was going to say that. So yeah, that whole story comes up and they sort of bond over it. And the woman explains that she'll do what she can to help her get out. But it turns out her dad's been taken by the Phantoms after their escape attempt went wrong, so they got to worry about that. And so that conversation kind of happens. And then we go back to Team Supergirl, where they're trying to, not only get Kara back, but rein in this rogue Phantom that's going around messing with people. And Alex, of course, is in the super suit with the eyes and the hair, but she has the hood up, and she doesn't look that bad with the hood up. If they could keep the hood up at all times when she's in that getup, it would be great, because you can't see how stupid her hair looks, and you can't really see as well the eyeshadow, and she looks okay, but when the hood's down and she's in that, it just looks so bad. Anyway, Lena, when she was talking with Lex earlier, says, I'm not going to budge. And in fact, I made a donation on your behalf to a children's hospital with all the money that I cleaned out of your account, because he was going to try to make a deal with some highfalutin guy, but she cleaned out all his accounts and gave the money to her children's hospital. So what does he do? He sets fire to the children's hospital. It's like, really, what is wrong with you, you sociopath? Then there was a scene between Lena and Brainiac 5, which I didn't really understand. It was very intense. They were both very teary-eyed, and Brainiac was very upset that he couldn't save Kara or save everybody from Lex, and they're talking about how he wants to kill Lex. And Lena says, I kind of want to kill him too, but I'm not going to, because then I become dark and I don't want to do that. So it was an intense scene. I wasn't really sure we needed it, but I don't know. But at one point, Magan goes off against John Jones's wishes to try to take out this Phantom, and ends up getting attacked, and they're afraid that she's going to die, and that if she dies, she'll turn into a Phantom. So they come up with this plan to sort of keep that from happening by transferring a piece of her soul that is within John back into her when she dies, and her soul leaves her body before the Phantom can take over. And Brainiac 5 notes how this is basically trying to save Magan with a modified Faltor Pond from Star Trek. And they're like, what? And he goes, Star Trek 3? Anyway. It turns out, getting back to Alex, that her suit and eyeshadow and hair are all like a nanotech thing, like Supergirl's suit, which is kind of weird. I don't know how you do that with your eyeshadow, but I guess you can. Anyway, just sort of a side note there. But getting back to Lena, I've always loved this character. I thought this character's been great from the beginning. And she basically goes and tells Lex, I'm not playing your game anymore. I'm going to step away from LexCorp. Do what you want. I'm not playing the game. He's like, but you hate me too much. He's like, yeah, I do, but I'm just not going to engage anymore later. And I think it's great. I think if she's able to maintain that position, it'll be a good thing for the character. Lex, you can tell Lex doesn't really like this. He sort of likes torturing his sister, I think. or whatever, or he maybe in some twisted way he actually loves her. I don't know, but I thought it was a good moment for the character. But getting back to Alex, she has a moment with Jimmy's sister, whose name I don't even know. And apparently, they're dating and they have a conversation about how strong Alex is and how much of a help the sister is. And they sort of congratulate each other on being awesome. And they decide to move in together because they're in love. So apparently that's a thing now. Again, we're at a place where this show is a show that has too many plots, too much stuff going on. I love the Lena character, but we don't need the whole Lena Lex thing on top of everything else. It's just, and where was Dreamer in this episode? It's like they rotate people in and out. So we had to focus on McGann, but Dreamer's not in the episode. Like, what? Why are they doing that? They want to have a certain number of people in each episode, but they don't want to pay too much money, so they rotate the higher paid actors out and rotate in lesser paid. I don't get it, but I don't like it either. So I don't know. We'll have to see what they do with that. But they're back in the Phantom Zone, and the Imp and Kara, the Imp gets her magic back, which I guess had been taken from her or whatever, or didn't work in the Phantom Zone, but she figured something out and now it works. And she's going to help Kara escape, and she's like, oh, I'll go back with you. And Kara's like, okay, cool, because she seems to be friendly, but I don't think she's all there. I think she's a bit loony. I think there's something, she's off in the brain, So we're going to find out, of course. But that'll come next week or the week after or what have you. That's it for this review. So I'm going to get out of here. And once again, I say peace and long life.